First thing was to make sure that we were focused. And so I took before the board what is called For the Future. Education, mentoring, health and wellness, and economic development were the foundations. But we found that model was needed in every city throughout the U.S. The other thing was to really brand the organization. And thus we came up with what they see is what they'll be.
My mentor, Tommy Dorch, I met him a few years ago, and he talked to me about the 100, and I said, oh yeah, that sounds nice. And I was actually in the military in uniform then, and what Tommy did, he invited me to get involved. And I tell you, since that day, not only did he invite me to get involved, let's talk the issue of leadership. He took me on his wings to the point that brought me places, would call me up and say, hey, you need to be here, you need to be here. And after being there, it was like I no longer needed him to tell me I need to be there. And that's how I got started.
What they can see.
We went from 43 chapters to 102 chapters in my 10-year tenure as the chair of 100 Black Men of America.
Tommy is like a brother. He has no problem telling me, you did a good job. There's no problem telling me, I don't agree with that. We always agree to agree and disagree agreeably. And we have always shown a united front. Over the last 25 years, the organization has significantly expanded its impact. We have mentored more children year after year. We've gone from discussions regarding one-to-one mentoring, which is very limited, to group mentoring that allowed us to, again, expand the impact, to actively engaging in educational enhancements, to the point where we have schools that we run and operate.
One of the things about the media, right, is that they do love to highlight and portray the negatives. And so oftentimes we don't see the good that's happening, and we don't see the positive that's occurring in those communities.
I am officially declaring a state of emergency as our young people are yearning for leadership, as the 100 Black Men is the organization poised to make a difference. In any other environment, if 70% of anything, if 70% of Atlanta had contracted a disease, the Centers for Disease Control would shut it down. The governor would declare a state of emergency, and all types of experts would be called upon to figure out a solution. Similarly, the 100 Black Men of America has an obligation to not sit idly by, rest on our laurels and the successes that we have had, and allow so many young people to go by the wayside because we have not yet excited others to do what we do or taken what we do to scale.
Al Dodson is one of the most critical thinkers that I've ever come to know. He's always, for me, he was like Mr. Cool. He's the one that if somebody had to take the last shot, and while I'm never afraid to take the last shot, Al Dodson was the guy I knew if I passed the ball to, he was going to deliver.
The 24th Annual Conference was an opportunity for the 100 Black Men of America to share with the world that the Mentoring the 100 Way across a lifetime is going to be the curriculum platform that the 100 Black Men of America will be using. When I came in, we became an adult. And as we went through adolescence, there were certain growing pains we as an organization went through, as all adolescents do. We began to see that, it's really time as an organization to plan out where we want to be and to visualize the potential that we believe we can realize and to begin executing on our career plan. And at 25, we've got to be in full stride as an organization heading toward that end that we have visualized. Tommy and I committed to role modeling succession. And I watched as Dr. Haling did it with Nate Golston, how Nate did it with Tommy, how Tommy has done it with me. So for sure they have mentored me, and I continue to be mentored by them today.
It never ceases to amaze me the level of commitment of the organization. I have seen the level of commitment increase. I've seen the focus and dedication increase. And I think we're at a level now and a stage now that we are going to really, as they say, rock this world in terms of how we're going to interact, mentor children.
I've gotten feedback from several youngsters who have finished our programs here, and they've said how it helped them not only with the scholarships and the help to go to college, but it opened doors that would not have been opened up if it had not been for the 100 Black Men, where we had the tutoring, we had the computer workshops, and we had good leaders and instructors. We had a Pat Riera who did a lot of the field work. We'd take them out to colleges, for instance, and show them the way and some of the things that they could do.
A young person from London, England shared that they believed that they would die or would have been dead but for the 100's involvement in their life. And those kind of testimonials across the Great Pond are replicated throughout the continental United States. And the more we can do that as an organization, I think the better we will be.
You are the largest group of organized African American men anywhere in the world. And to hear that comment, was one you want to pat yourself on the back on, but it also told me that we've got a lot of work to do, because if we are that group, then everybody's looking to us.
I'm quite proud of the growth and being an obstetrician, seeing a baby develop and the birth of a baby, and then the growth and the development and how it progresses and is contributing and doing something so positive. I have to feel proud, and I'm glad to have been a part of this, because it was my early vision that we could do something and give something back.
People give us credit for what we do for the young people, and they don't recognize enough what the young people do for us. They make men out of men. We come to the table to do the right thing because we realize we're where we are because we had caring adults in our lives.
What excites me about this organization, that despite our successes that we rightfully can tout, we recognize that we've only just begun as a group, because there's so much more work to be done, and people are equally as excited about engaging in the work of the 100.